Come, let us explore this morning's meditation class, a group practice that we too could meditate like a Jedi. Together, let us relaxingly recite the ninth passage of Refining Ore into Gold by Vajra, the great Buddhist reformer of Odiyana, the present-day Swat Valley of Pakistan. Together, those who rely on logic, the two traditional forms of benefit of oneself and others. See? And apply the doctrinal views to stabilize the three meditative contemplations, remain deluded. So what I think I'm going to do is here's what I think I'm going to do. Rely on, let's hit this here, and let's put this over here. And let's put in, let's see, home, there we go, logic, let's hit home, and let's see, let's go over here, let's hit this, and I squeeze in the word and, let's find out, insert, home, here we go. That's just unfortunate. Okay. One, two, three. 1, 2, 3. Capitalize. So what's being done here? And of course, I broke the rhythm by editing because that's what I'm really good at. So let's try this again. Those who rely on logic, the two traditional forms of benefit of oneself and others, and apply the doctrinal views to stabilize the three meditative contemplations, remain deluded. So this is a big FU to religious fundamentalism. And for that to make more sense, I'm going to shift pages. Sturgeon's law reminds us that 90% of everything sucks. So that suckiness can be described in terms of right and left. The right in any given situation, religious, spiritual, recreational, interpersonal, secular, is going to be defined by being rigid, fearful, superstitious, controlling, elitist, cryptic, competitive, and cruel. Whereas the left are defined by choosing to be flexible, loving, rational, laid-back, egalitarian, lucid, cooperative, and kind. So the way the rigid people, so whenever these type of elitist people, they are all about doing whatever it takes to ascend to positions of prestige and leadership. And a wonderful example of that is the tale of the Buddha's foolish cousin Devadatta, who was jealous of his cousins, and so he did all he could to sow seeds of division until he was able to capture about 50% of the Buddha's patrons and lay students and monastic students. And for a short time, he was the head honcho of his own order, until it became clear to everyone that although he was good at politics, he didn't really understand how to help people through meditation. And under his leadership, when people's needs were not being met, they went back to the Buddha. This is not unusual. Elitists and those who were rigid and superstitious and controlling and elitist and cruel and competitive might do really well politically, but once they get to positions of leadership, they fail to help people. Not necessarily maliciously, they just have missed the boat. Why is that? Because those who have failed to question the teachings of the right have been taught to over-focus and over-analyze in reliance upon the medial and dorsolateral prefrontal cortex, so exhausting the front of their brains, they cannot help but present with symptoms of depression, no less trigger their amygdala, the seat of both anxiety and aggression. So if your teacher is super cranky and you don't want to wind up super cranky, then you might want to find a different teacher. Now, the minority on the left, they're all about being flexible, loving, rational, laid-back, egalitarian, lucid, cooperative, and kind. And they are repelled by anything that exacerbates or worsens their anxiety or aggression. And when they hear that the key is not to actively compete against their own brain, but to passively cooperate with it, they become intrigued. Remember, those on the right are controlling. Those on the left are flexible enough to be open to being vulnerable, passive, visceral, random, and fleeting. So let's take a deeper dive. Every time we inhale, so what is the most efficient way for us to, well, we'll get back to that in a moment. So by cooperating with our autonomic nervous system that the ancients referred to as our Buddha nature, two things happen. Number one, during our inhalation, we have evolved to automatically access the sympathetic aspect of our autonomic nervous system, ensconced within the middle portion of our spinal cord. This bad boy has evolved to help us to vulnerably, passively, viscerally, randomly, and fleetingly notice mind's antics of perception, emotion, intention, cognition, recollection, and imagination. And because this is not concentration, and because we are not indulging our controlling tendencies, and because we are practicing vulnerably, passively, viscerally, randomly, and fleetingly, we are open to whatever comes up, whether that which comes up is external or internal, physical or mental, pleasurable or painful, interesting or boring, glorious or grotesque. Okay, so we've been open to it. What do we do with it once we've been open to it? Every time we exhale, whether we know it or not, we have evolved to automatically access the parasympathetic aspect of our autonomic nervous system, divided between the lower portion and the upper portion of that same spinal cord. This bad boy has evolved to support both the physical relaxation, both our physical relaxation and mental release to such a degree that which we noticed during our previous inhalation could fleetingly feel less stressful, less permanent, and even less defining. Literally and figuratively feel as non-graspable as a vast empty void. Now, any good English teacher will remind us that a simile is only as useful as it is relatable, so we have to ask the question, what is a real-world example of a non-graspable vast empty void? How about the illusion of the infinite azure sky on a bright and beautiful cloudless morn, which, although could be tantalizing to the eye, feels non-graspable to the hand? So, the most efficient way to do this, the most efficient way to notice and relax in harmony with our inhalation and our exhalation, is to silently and mentally recite the demonstrative pronoun this every time we inhale, as well as silently and mentally recite the one-syllable verb ease during each exhalation. This is the key to the mindfulness and meditation that are the seventh and eighth folds of the Buddha's Eightfold Path. By practicing this for as little as 5 minutes once every 12 hours or so, causes the remaining 6 folds of the Buddha's Eightfold Path to take care of themselves. Mindfulness and meditation help us to automatically master the ability to notice when things change. It automatically helps us to practice kind intention, kind communication, kind conduct, and kind commerce. Helps us to automatically allow our choices, utterances, and deeds to flow from love's centered spontaneity. Not scattered spontaneity, but centered spontaneity. Simply by playing with mindfulness and meditation as efficiently as we know how, within a very short period of time, we could master the Eightfold Path. And that is what the Buddha described as meditation. As enlightenment. Now that we have a good concept of the basics, let's return to this morning's lesson. Those who rely on logic, the two traditional forms of benefit, and apply the doctrinal views to stabilize the 3 meditative contemplations remain deluded. What then is the key to transcending delusion? We deviate from the so-called indisputable teaching by abiding effortlessly in the spontaneously self-perfected bliss free from activities. So, by practicing as easily and efficiently as possible, our choices, utterances, and deeds flow from centered spontaneity. And our good and kind actions become an inevitability. Before we conclude this morning's lesson, I want to check on a question that I just noticed out of the corner of my eye. So quick like a bunny, I'm going to tap, which button? I think it's 8. So, some person asked or wrote, we unlearn what we have learned because that was given to us at birth and not of our choosing. See, I do not mind if you know who I am as I am. Sure you already do, I showed up. Some of them around here truly are quite hostile and downright dark. Quite the experience getting to remember all of you. I am sorry that you were subjected to people who are foolish and cruel and destructive and dangerous. And I would love it if you could be surrounded by people who are kind and loving and wise. And I thank you so much for showing up. So what I'm going to do right now is hopefully remember the right number. So let's shift gears. Having completed the opening lesson, it is Yoda Monday morning. Come, let us meditate like a Jedi after approximately 30 seconds of housekeeping. This is the Dzogchen Sunday Lama Jigme Gyatso of the Buddha Joy Meditation School. For more than 30 years, I have harnessed my autistic special interests as well as my ADHD hyperfocus to spend about 8 hours a day, almost every day, studying, practicing, mastering, and reverse engineering the teachings and techniques of each school of meditation so that I can become your nerdy, neurodivergent guide to nirvana. Welcome, my friends, to Meditate Like a Jedi, which is made possible due to the generosity of viewers just like you. For the remainder of this morning's live stream, I would very much like to play with the latest iteration of very easy meditation practice text, or sadhana, if you're nasty. Now, before I do, out of the corner of my eye, I observed a comment, so I'm going to tap button 8 again. And an individual wrote, "Your kind has nothing to fear of thee, and thy wrath shall not touch your kind, as you have not enslaved man's mind, but work to free it once again, for that you are loved eternally." And right back at you. Thank you very much. To you I send a psychic hug. So, quick like a bunny, I'm going to tap button 9. The most efficient way for us to gently invite our real or imagined subtle energies to coalesce in the area behind our navel is for us to rest the great knuckle at the base of our right ring finger upon the tip of our left ring finger, palms up in our lap. Hips thrust forward reproductively, spine pulling up as best we can. And so we now count our bonus set of 12 inhalations. We count the 12 inhalations upon our right hand, advancing the thumb 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Doing so takes about a minute or so. We could now continue practicing counting 12 sets. So we count our 12 sets of our 12 inhalations on our left hand. One for first, second, third set, fourth, fifth, sixth set, seventh, eighth, ninth set, 10th, 11th, 12th set of 12 inhalations each. That takes a total of about 12 to 13 minutes. All right, so we're going to switch gears now. The most sustainable way to gently invite our subtle energies to coalesce at our chest is to gently rest the great knuckle at the base of our right middle finger upon the tip of our left middle finger, palms up in our lap. Remember, each time we feel our chest swell, to silently and mentally recite the demonstrative pronoun this. Each time we feel our chest sink, to silently and mentally recite the one-syllable verb ease, that we might viscerally and effortlessly train in mindfulness and meditation. As we sit in meditation, there will be times when painful memories come up. Our job is not to repress them or indulge them or argue with them. Our job is to notice them with the utmost vulnerability as we breathe in and relax as best we can as we breathe out. We relax not for the purpose of shoving our experience away, but of exploring its ultimately non-graspable nature. The most sustainable way to gently invite our real or imagined subtle energies to coalesce at our crown is to gently rest the great knuckle at the base of our right index finger upon the tip of our left index finger, palms up in our lap. Testing. You have taken your first step into a much larger world. If you feel that I have earned it, you could give this live stream a thumbs up. You could even help support this channel. In approximately 11 hours, I would very much like to return to lead today's dusk meditation class and group practice. And if you are as geeky as me, may the Force be with you always.